ever meet someone so arrogant, so smug, that you almost wish karma would just slap them across the face? Well, in my case, I didn't just wait for karma, I became karma. And when I was done, this guy watched over $13,000 of his eBay inventory vanish overnight. If you've ever dreamed of serving pure justice to someone who disrespected you for no reason, smash that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear all week. I've been selling on eBay for years. It's not glamorous, it's a grind, but I know my stuff. One of my main flips? Calculators. Not the basic kind you'd pick up in a grocery store. I'm talking about TI Inspires, the heavy-duty, graphing, programmable kind schools use. One day, while I was scrolling through listings, I spotted something promising. A bulk lot of TI Inspires, all labeled school property. The listing said for parts only, but it also mentioned turns on but needs additional equipment. Now, in my experience, if a calculator turns on, 9 times out of 10, it's fine. So I sent the seller a polite little message. Hey, just curious, what extra equipment do they need? Instead of answering like a normal human being, this guy fires back with, just for you to ask to show you're intelligent, LOL, bored. I literally read that twice. Was this guy insulting me for asking a question about his own listing? I took a breath. Maybe he's just having a bad day. I replied, I'm not being rude, I'm just curious. His response? Oh, it got better. If you were smart enough to read the description, you wouldn't ask anything. I'm not entitled to educate you. Yes, he actually wrote educate. And then just to put the cherry on top, he tells me I'm blocking you so I don't waste my time. Normally, I just shrug, roll my eyes, and move on. But something about his smugness, the way he acted like my time was worthless compared to his, it stuck in my head. So I did what any curious eBay seller with a bit of free time and a good memory for usernames would do. I looked deeper. His negative reviews were gold. Page after page of buyers complaining. He was rude. He canceled orders without explanation. He insulted people in his replies. And then I found the kicker. A customer from Honduras left him a bad review. And the seller replied saying he canceled the order because the buyer was a Honduras scammer and mocked them for speaking Spanglish. At this point, this wasn't just arrogance. This guy was a bully. Then I noticed something interesting. In his listing descriptions, there it was, his phone number. A quick Google search later, I found out he ran another eBay store under a company name that claimed to do electronics recycling and refurbishing. But this wasn't just calculators. He was selling high-ticket medical devices. We're talking electrotherapy units, ultrasound heads, laser therapy applicators, the kind of devices that require FDA clearance and cannot be legally sold to the general public without authorization. Here's the thing. eBay has an entire policy banning these sales unless you're an approved medical seller. Even for parts-only versions of these devices are restricted. So I made a list. His most expensive, most blatantly illegal listings: $2,000 electrotherapy machines, $3,000 laser therapy kits. I cross-referenced each one in the FDA's classification database. Then I matched them to eBay's restricted list, complete with their classification codes. I didn't just click report item. No, I went full CSI eBay edition. I submitted detailed reports through the Item Not Allowed category, attaching exact model numbers and policy citations so there was no doubt. Fast forward to this morning. I wake up, check my email, and there it is. 6 of his most expensive listings gone. Multiple $2,000+ therapy systems, accessory packs, and even some for parts-only listings had been removed. The total? $13,590 worth of inventory deleted overnight. I'm not saying I sank his entire business, but I definitely ruined his week. And the best part, he'll never know it was me, the unintelligent guy who dared to ask a question. That sweet moment of justice, it's knowing he went from mockle me to scrambling to recover from a massive financial hit, all because I actually read the rules. Moral of the story: if you're going to be smug, disrespect people, and run shady business practices, don't be surprised when someone turns your own arrogance into the weapon that takes you down. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button, share it with a friend, and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge story you've ever seen? And if you want more stories just like this, hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more where this came from.